Hey, Daily Dosers, Chris here. A happy Monday to you. And I'm wondering, do I need to start the beginning of this week with an apology to some of you? Because I will. I will apologize for maybe how I did it. I'm not going to apologize for what I said because it wasn't my words, it was Christ. But I know what the conversations this weekend, we had people that got a little ruffled and bent about just the fact that we are commanded that we have to love all Christians. And there's a lot of Christians in our lives today that make it really difficult to love them, especially when we put our politics, especially when we put our school curriculum, especially when we put our sports teams, Dodgers, especially when we put our wants, our desires, especially when we put our lifestyle, especially when, because there's a lot of Christians that people go, what if they're sinning? What if they're doing it wrong? And I'm like, and they are. And Peter did. And yet he's still in the room and Jesus still washed his feet. Well, I don't even know if they're a Christian. They might not be, but I don't think that's your call. I think it's God's. You see, we saw this weekend in John 13, Jesus says, here's a new command. It's not going to be surprising. It's a very old command. It's just got some new twist to it. You have to love each other. Here's the newness, as I loved you. And that tweaked a lot of us. And I apologize if I said that in a way that hurt or offended you. I'm not going to apologize that the thought and the idea offended you at all, because it's not my thought, not my idea. What I'm going to do on this daily dose is get all of us to understand who are the they in the Christian life that we are just so frustrated with, because they see things differently than we do as a Christian, and therefore they really can't be a good Christian if a Christian at all. Who are the they that we need help loving? As I said in this weekend's message, John, after he writes this Gospel of John, the story of Jesus, will write 1st, 2nd, and 3rd John, smaller books. 1 John chapter 2, your food for thought, you have homework on it. Let me just read one passage, 1 John 2, starting at verse 3. If you got a Bible, read 1 John, not John, 1 John 2, 3 with me. If you don't, I want you to listen, but here's what I want you to do. I want you to take this daily dose, maybe more serious than we have many, many before. Who are the type of Christians that you really don't like, agree with, or get along with? The Christian who does what? The Christian who votes what? The Christian who says what? The Christian that lives what? Who are the type of Christians that you go, man, they aggravate me? Keep that in mind as we read this. Oh, see, now I'm just messing with you. We know that we have come to know him if we obey his commands. The person who says, oh, I know Jesus, but does not do what he commands is a liar, and the truth is not in them. But if anyone obeys his word, God's love is truly made complete in them. This is how we know we are in him. Whoever claims to live in him must walk as Jesus did. John goes, look, let me tell you, I walked with Jesus. I'm the only disciple to die of old age. I was closest to Jesus. I sat next to him in the upper room. I was with him for 3 years. Let me really spell this out for those that have a difficulty with other Christians. Here's the deal. You can't say you love God and you disobey what he commands. If you're not going to do what he commands, you don't really love God. You just have a fondness that there's a God out there and you want to get to heaven one day. He's all, but you don't love God. Anyone who loves God must walk as Jesus did. Dear friends, I'm not writing you a new command, but an old one which you have had since the beginning. This old command is the message you have heard. Yet I'm writing you a new command. Its truth is, yet I am writing you a new command. Its truth is seen in him and you, because the darkness is passing and the true light is already shining. Anyone who claims to be in the light but hates his brother is still in darkness. Whoever loves his brother lives in the light, and there is nothing in them to make them stumble. But whoever hates his brother or sister is in the darkness and walks around in the darkness. Those who do not know where he is going, because the darkness has blinded them. John goes, look, I got to make this clear to you. You can't say you love God and yet hate other Christians. You're in the darkness. You're not in the light. And if you're walking in the light, it's going to be seen by how you love other brothers and sisters of Christ. It doesn't matter who. It doesn't matter what they believe. It doesn't matter where they're from. That's between them and God will work out that maturity or immaturity in their life. Here's John, and take the rest of the food for thought that was with our homework this weekend and apply it to chapter 3, 4, and 5. It's a short book. Just read it this week. Meditate on this. John just wants to leave us on this Monday. Is there a group or a type of Christian that frustrates you, you're disgusted with? May you this week be praying that you love them. God, give me your love for them. If nothing else, to show your love in me and my love for you. That's our daily dose.